So I'm cleared to take off on runway 23 at Luanda at the 4th of February airport, Luanda, Angola. Time is 5:53 and 18 seconds. So let's take off at 5:54. Probably 5:55 would have been a nice rounded number, but we're here now. Time is money, so they say. 25 seconds to go. Time does fly. Sun is setting, so as the sunset flight obviously will be coming along the beach at sunset, which should be so romantic. Alright, 12 seconds to go, throttle up. 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, brakes off. Thunderbirds are go. 40 knots, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, rotating, 6 degrees up, positive rate of climb, gear up, flaps up. As the sun sets, now we've got a hard left turn coming up, make sure you're going fast enough before you do it. Let's go. It's actually southeast, but close enough. Mike India Golf 1.
The tower, Mike India Golf 007, continue for east departure.
And I'm climbing to 1500 feet. Okay, I'm pretty much on track, so I can do a bit of rubbernecking now. Like lean out there and have a look back at the airport. Look at the wonderful effect of the light on the buildings this time of day. Go get the GoPro out. Left wing tip. So nice. Left wing.
007 leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
Mike India Golf 1.
The tower, Mike India Golf 007, frequency change.
Now, some of these landmarks can be harder to see when the sun's at a low slant angle like this, so my advice in this situation, 1500 feet being our default altitude, is to add another 1000 feet, which we'll do now. We've already got permission, of course. You don't have to ask. They know it's a demo flight. I've filed extensive paperwork to make sure we can do all this. Hope you do that as well. Not really a serious recommendation, but if you like that kind of thing, you can definitely pretend to do it, or simulate it rather, not pretending. Right, now 6 miles from this turn point. Okay, I'm glad I did climb. Now I can see the 2 lakes, the 2 circles, and often at these times of day you rely on bodies of water. They're pretty reliable because they're like giant mirrors and they catch whatever light's there and we can see them nicely. And we're going to line up with those 2 lakes. Now on the left we're starting to see the crescent and the circle is just becoming apparent now. There's a circle in front of us, but hard to make out this time of day, but anyway, the lakes have saved our bacon. Round we go. Very hard left turn. Those buildings are catching the light very nicely. Now we're practically coming back to the north. Make sure you're going fast enough when you enter a turn like this, because this is where you're likely to lose control and stall. You don't want to do that. Right, pretty much heading north. Let's look back to the west, the sun's setting. So there is a road down here now. Bear in mind I climbed quite a lot actually, which is usually what I do when I'm not paying attention, but it's better than descending. That's all I can say. So we follow this road, which you can still see, and you start to notice other landmarks that you didn't see during the day, like this quarry, or it looks like a quarry on the right, the sandy coloured feature. whereas other landmarks like bridges can be very hard to see in this light. So we're back at 1500 feet again. So there you go. So depending on time of day, you'll be looking for different things. Intersection like that's very hard to see it at the moment, but the building next to it quite visible. So I enjoyed cataloguing those kind of things because they enhance your flying around an area, and that's actually what pilots do if they're doing this kind of visual flying. They like to learn all the features in an area, which means they can relax more about navigation. Okay, so it's still 1500 feet. Now we can see our arrowhead, which we used in the earlier flight during the day to orient ourselves. The two lagoons up there look like an arrow. They are quite visible at this time of day. So that's good. Let's do a bit of looking around. You won't see much looking straight into the sun either, except for beautiful colours. Okay, I'm going to speed up a bit just to expedite the timing of the video for you. And look at that lake. I mean, if you know, a lake like that, visible from 20 miles away. Even that windy river is relatively visible compared to roads and bridges, etc. Okay, so let me expedite. As I said, I'm going to speed up. We're heading for the point of that arrowhead formed by the lagoon. Let's get the GoPro onto it. And we're going to do a very hard turn. So this, I might call this flight practicing steep turns too. I try to keep them gentle, but sometimes you just can't have everything in one flight. Anyway, we need to practice steep turns. It's an important skill. So the main thing here is take your time. Watch your speed, it'll bleed off a lot in this kind of turn. So general aviation aircraft, you're probably doing about 3 degrees per second, very gentle attitude like that. Aircraft like this and is in the more aerobatic category, so I can really heave it around the corner, which does save me time. Now, as I said in the previous flight, doing beach runs, I like to get down between 200 and 500 feet. But, there's always a but, that's during the daytime. This time of day, it can be really treacherous down there because it's very hard often to see the surface of the water. It's like a big mirror. And yeah, I can tell you from experience, bad things can happen when you lose track of the surface of the water. Lost a few aircraft like that. So I'm going to stay up. I'm going to go, let's say 1,000 feet rather than 500 or less. So we've gone from 1,500 down to 500. Now if all these altitudes are confusing to you, don't worry about it. Just do the best you can and play around with it until you can see what you're trying to see. There's no right and wrong really in this scenario. Look at that, wow. Anyway, I tend to run off at the mouth, but that's me. You can always turn the sound down. There you go, giving you a few moments of unadulterated jet engine noise. Now, next turn point was a bridge, so it's going to be hard to see the bridge, but we can see the river and the river mouth, and you can kind of infer the bridges there. Okay, so just following the coastline, back on track. and we're heading out to the most distant, the most seaward point of land, which is the outer edge of this harbour coming up. The city is also lighting up. I like doing sunset flights because you get the incredible light effects, you get the warm, you get the rainbow effect of the red shift, you get the, what's the that? You get the sun on the water. I mean, that's incredible. And you also get the fairy tale lights of the city as it settles in for the evening. So, wow. It's a 90-degree turn to the left at this point, and we'll be back up the airport in no time. So we always turn where there's a clear demarcation between water and land, or the two lines meet. There's a whole range of things we look for, which I'll talk about during the course of these 250 odd flights that are in this tour. So there we go. I'm going to get the GoPro onto that, I think. The wingtip. Yeah. Nice. 1500 feet. Again, default altitude as we cross the city. Enjoy the view, and I'll get permission to land. Channel 2. Channel 2. Channel 1. Mike India Golf 2.
The tower Mike India Golf 0074 miles north 1,600 feet to land. Mike India Golf 007 will get the tower. Altimeter 29.902 wind 275 to 3. Make straight and runway 23.
Mike India Golf 1.
Fly straight and runway 23007.
Okay, so we can't actually fly straight in. Because there's the runway right there. So we'll actually do a circle. Now, I was complaining earlier in the day about not seeing any good landmarks for turning to final, but now look at night time, that road, or in the evening. Mike India Golf 1.
To land runway 23007.
So at this time of day, as I was saying, we have a fantastic landmark, which is that road. It's lit up so well. So if we're ready to land as we cross that road, gear down, flaps down, etc., we know we're in pretty good shape. And this, whatever that is there, is about the right distance out, so we get ourselves oriented. Intersection over there, getting a picture. This road's kind of perpendicular to the direction we want to land at. So if I come back across this road at the same kind of angle, we'll be in the ballpark for landing. So evening and night and morning flights do have an advantage. Often around cities you get these lovely straight lines up main roads, and that can really help you find your way around. Okie doke, so let's turn to final. Gear down, flaps full, watch the speed, gear's coming down nicely, I can hear it. There's the runway. Got 3 greens, gears down, flaps down, fuel is good. Heading's good, altitude 1500, speed dropping, but 144 knots is good at this point. And when I reach that road, I'm going to go silent running and really concentrate on the landing. As the sun sets, look at the timing. As the sun sets, that is, that's perfect. That is poetry. Okay. Let's see if I can land and keep the poetry going. That's a pretty nicely lit airport, this one. And not all this easy to see. Okay, the threshold, looking for 110. We will be fast at 125. That's okay. Settling down, flaring 110 and touchdown at 106, which 6 knots fast. I'm quite okay with that. Whew.
007 exit runway when able.
I'll do that. So there we go. Introduction to the tour, starting in Africa, Angola, and with the numerically named 4th of February airport. Enjoy.